Tipster Newsboy is hoping that Wincanton's trainers, Venetia Williams and Paul Nicholls, will have some luck, while Ben Pauling is saddled with hot prospect Handstands up at Newcastle. In Wincanton's Virgin Bet Best Odds Daily Handicap Chase, 2.40, Georges Saint appears ready for a hat trick. After crossing the channel to join Venetia Williams, the Grey, who had been successful twice over fences when trained in France, missed the mark in 8 attempts over hurdles, though he did finish on the podium 5 times. But Georges Saint, after a return to action fourth over the larger obstacles at Chepstow in October, was back to winning form when landing a handicap chase at Fos Loss by a neck from Walkenthwoods the following month. And the 8-year-old followed up from a 5 pounds higher mark with a 12-length beating of William Cody at Fakenham 6 days before Christmas, a victory that triggered a further 7 pounds rise in the weights. However, Georges Saint appears to have more to give now that he's found his groove, and Charlie Deutsch's mount is anticipated to score once more given the abundance of juice in the ground following a rainy week in Somerset. In the Virgin Bet Daily Price Boosts Handicap Hurdle, Individualist ought to be out on his own, 3.15. Having captured a novice hurdle at Taunton in March 2022 on his second start for Paul Nicholls, the ex-French 6-year-old was off the course for 597 days. After losing at Newton Abbot, Sandown Park, and Taunton this winter, Individualist has taken some time to get used to his new role. But last Saturday, at the Somerset course, he doubled his career total by defeating Freddie Fleetfoot by a commanding 16 lengths in a conditional jockeys event while wearing the cheek pieces that are still in use today. A 4 pounds rise in the handicap for that victory looks within range for Individualist, and the fact rising star Freddie Gingle, on board last weekend, is able to claim a 5 pounds allowance is another plus. The magic of Nicholls in the Virgin Bet Daily Extra Places Handicap Chase, Saint is favored to return to form, 1.30. The 10-year-old had been doing well in Hunter Chase Company for his trainer's daughter Olive earlier in the year, when he was pulled up in a handicap chase at Stratford in June. Magic Saint, who peaked at 159 at the end of 2020, is currently rated 125. He'll surely cash in sooner or later, and Wincanton, he has won twice from 3 starts over fences at his local course, looks just the place to do it. The Virgin Bet Every Saturday Money Back, 2.05, represents a good opportunity for Feature Match to back up a last time out score at Sedgefield. The 4-year-old trained by Nigel Hawke set a record for an 8-runner juvenile hurdle in County Durham at 33-1, but his 2¼ length defeat of the favourite, I'm Too Tired, was an anomaly, and his handicap of 93 seems reasonable for his first experience in the field. Following the cancellation of Sandown Park's premier Raceday card, Newcastle fills in for ITV4. An Empty Nest might be slated for a red-letter day in the Quinbet ACA Bonus Handicap Chase, 2.50. A head and a short head separated the Mark Walford trainee from a first career triumph at Catterick Bridge 6 days before Christmas, but a 1 pound nudge up the weights may not stop Empty Nest from going 2 places better. When he lost out at the second-to-last fence at Hexham in May, he was leading, and Robert Dors has a good chance of making up ground over Timber in the Quinbet.com Handicap Hurdle, 3.25. Hot favourite Handstands should prevail in the Quinbet Best Odds Guaranteed Novices Hurdle, 2.15, while 2AULD Pals is the punter's friend in the Quinbet ACA Bonus Novices Hurdle, 1.40.